honest, is that being on a peer review is one of the most enriching experiences that I've had. It's directly because of the coalition. I think it's been such a catalyst, as you've seen, to so much change that has been happening in Inanda, and so much personal growth that I've had as well. I've been on 2 peer reviews now, and I can't tell you what I've taken back. I mean, we go there and for a few days and hopefully do a good job and hopefully give them a lot of stuff to work with, but we really come back ourselves and have grown a lot. I think the best part of it is that you learn how to observe the lesson properly and to be objective about it, and not to be subjective about things. Yeah, and the great thing is that it's really taught me how to be very reflective, and that's a key thing in the coalition. I continuously just reflect, and I think we get stuck in a ruts a lot of the time as teachers, and if you are really honest and you sit down with yourself and think, you know, that lesson didn't go well, oh, it's because the kids, they just don't want to, they're just not with me today. It's not that they're not with me, it's because I'm not making sure that they are with me. So, yeah, to just be reflective and to just keep at it the whole time.
And when you came back, one of the things you said was really profound for me, that you found difficult on the peer review.
What I found difficult is being objective.
And looking at your own things.
Yeah, looking at my own, yeah, being objective in a lesson and saying, okay, well, they don't do these non-negotiables or whatever, and I have to look back at my lesson and say, well, hang on, do I actually? And I've both from Ridgeway and Leap have gone and taken their list of quick hits and gone to myself and be like, okay, do I do that, do I do that, do I do that? And I've actually stuck a list up in my classroom just to like see it every day, so that I know, okay, I really have to work on this, I really have to work on that. So it's just really helped me to be better. It also just brings a positiveness to reflection. A lot of people, I think we all think we have the best intentions, we want to be good teachers, and I like to think the way I'm doing it is a good way, it's the best that I'm trying to do, but we don't ever want to stop and think, well, we want to say I'm doing my best, but we don't want to stop and think, well, there's actually more I can do, and there's always more you can do, and I think it's just created a more positive way of reflecting that I can always improve on something, and that's what the peer review has sort of really helped me learn individually.
Take your Inanda hat off, put your peer review hat on, and that's what you've got to do. You've got to say, actually, I'm reviewing here. Whether my school does this or not is not what I'm checking. I'm reviewing that school, which is really great. And there have been 10 peer reviews in the coalition, and Inanda's been involved in 9 of them, or there have been 11 and we've been involved in 10 of them. And often because people have dropped out and they needed someone in a hurry. And I really want to encourage you to send people. Those 3 days that your teacher's out of school are more than made up for when they get back to school. And it's just been a thrill for us. The only one we weren't involved with was Leap 4. But there's been an Inanda person at every single peer review, which has just been awesome for us as a school. And Sue, I'd love you just to share Grace into your peer reviews.
Going on a peer review was really a huge growth experience for me. And to be asked to lead a peer review, I think if you had told me 5 years ago that I'd be doing it, I would say you must be crazy. After having watched one, and I ended up doing 2. But I think 2 huge lessons for me from the peer review were, first of all, backing up whatever you say with evidence. Coming out of the classroom after having observed a teacher and sitting down and in your briefing saying, the teacher did, or I think this happened, or this is what happened in the lesson, and the teacher, that wasn't a very good lesson, and asked, what is the evidence to back that up? And I think once you get into that way of thinking and you have that frame of mind, it can apply to every single aspect of your life and your job. And so you don't ever say anything without actually being able to motivate what you are saying. So it helps you to make decisions much better. And whether those decisions are with you and students or with you and teachers, it really helps that way. And I think the other learning also was about difficult conversations. This was not something that I personally was accustomed to. And when you're in a peer review situation, it can be pretty tense. And yes, difficult conversations are always difficult conversations, but I think you get to manage them better, and you get to see the value of those difficult conversations. So I think those are the two biggest learnings for me, and I managed to bring them back here as well.
And Norman, do you want to share what it was like receiving a peer review and any outcomes in your life as a result?
I was the first one to have a mini review by Alison. He came to our school and Julius told me that, oh, Alison, come to your class. He just came in and sit in my class. You know, when he was there, he just looked at me quietly, not say anything. And then, after the lesson, we sat and discussed my lesson. In that discussion, what I found from him, the way he doesn't like say, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, you've done this wrong. The way he expressed himself that, oh, how about you try this and do this? Because I'm a maths teacher, you know, I matriculated in the 80s, you know, those teachers, the way they teach maths, you know. I was exactly the same as my teacher who taught me maths in the 80s. Just come into class, you teach, don't even crack a joke. Then they're out of the class. Yeah, just check your homework. Don't even, just good morning and just start your lesson. That kind of teacher coming back here. Now, he just suggested, give me some points. Oh, what? You make your lesson interesting. Try this. Try this. You know what? Yes, you know, it's not easy being taught maths for more than 20 years and somebody comes in and tells you, okay, how about you try this? It's not easy to change. I told myself, no, let me try and see whether this is going to work. Then I tried, and you know what? It's so amazing to be in this coalition because now my students were telling me that, you know, Ma, much nicer than you. You know, in my class, previously, you hardly even your student talking. It was about maths. Now we laugh, but we have like time for laughing that, okay, we can laugh about something else and what is happening maybe outside. But if this being in the coalition has just changed my interaction with the student, I know that I'm kind to them. I'm not like the old maths teacher. And not only with the student, especially with the SMT, because the maths HOD. It wasn't easy for me to disagree with Judy, but now I can just say nicely that I don't agree. I was able to and she knows that if I don't agree, I just say it nicely. Without being fighting with her, just tell her, no, I disagree with you. This is how I look at this situation.
Last month. So we sat down as an academic management team and we got out the peer review. We knew what the big rocks were and we knew we'd tackled them, but we hadn't looked really quickly at the quick hits. And we got our list of quick hits out. And while you think everything's hunky-dory in the space here in Inanda, we felt quite ashamed of how few of them we have actually hit. That we focused on the big rocks, and I think we're pretty, our 3 big rocks were the leadership and management, the writing in the school, and that ICT wasn't really ICT, it was really data projectors and PowerPoints. And so we've done quite a big focus on the rocks, but there are many crickets that we haven't. So having a school improvement plan and really doing it even more targeted than we did, because Linda developed our professional development from the peer review.